Hi, host Eric here, talking with famous people, and I'm alone in the car. That's right. Abraham's no longer with me. I'm no longer. What is making that sound? I'm no longer in the company of others. Anyhow, while I have this moment alone, I thought I'd talk about something I mean to talk about but haven't gotten around to. Namely, to say more about the role of TI and the ENTP. And the reason I want to say more about it today, it has to do with hanging out with Abraham all day and seeing how he operates and how he thinks about things, and just how much insight speech and debate can give us on personality type. Because he's an experienced competitor, he's an interpreter, which is to say he does the more acting style events, or he did back when he was competing. And I listened to him talk. Oh, he has a tendency to wax poetic about interp speeches he once saw and stuff like that, which is really cool. I mean, I don't personally find it very interesting because I'm not that kind of person, right? I'm not that type. But I love the way that his passion for that resonates and correlates so well with my own passion for debate, and how it establishes a distinction in how the two different approaches think. So when I was talking to him today about just in the car when we were driving around, he started telling me about this interp speech he saw and how great this guy was. And he described for me the way that the person in question who was doing this interp speech that he was so smitten with, how this person drove the emotions of the audience along a certain path, up and down, and was able to have them switch emotions very quickly from laughing to really serious to laughing, and how effectively it all came together from an emotive standpoint. Well, I understand that stuff because I too have FE. I too can operate in that domain. But you won't find me waxing poetic about really good examples of it. They seem to me transient in a way that argumentation isn't. What you will hear me waxing poetic about are beautiful debate speeches or crying. I cry over them a lot, when I see my kids killing it and making all the great, crazy, deep argumentation. It literally makes me cry. And the reason is because I feel my own agency at that point. Like, here's a way in which I'm making a real, concrete, measurable difference in somebody's life and causing them to be beasts, whereas before they were merely human. So, I mean, I feel the purpose of what I do for profession. And I feel the purpose of what I do for expression, which is to say, when I'm talking on these videos, I speak purposefully in a number of different domains, along a number of different vectors. Some of the time I'm speaking directly to individuals. Some of the time I'm speaking to members of an opposition. Other times I might be speaking to members of a support team. And a lot of times those things are never stated explicitly, and it's not really clear exactly who I'm talking to, and that's okay, because I might not be really clear on it myself. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that for me, these videos constitute who I am. They constitute my attempt to build a semi-permanent understanding of who I am, what I stand for, what I mean, what I want to do, what my goals are, where I feel I get my moral legitimacy as a human being, where I feel I get my professional legitimacy as a human being, where I feel I get my expressive legitimacy as a human being. And I continue to maintain that these qualities are all qualities that I have to do because of my cognitive functions. So when we're talking about TI, we're talking about experiencing the world through a different lens. And it's so evident when I'm talking to Abraham. When I was having some disputes to be dealt with here, related to assorted things, some of which you may recall from previous videos that are no longer there because I'm a cooperative guy. and I like to cooperate. And anyway, regardless, when I was dealing with those things, it was as simple a matter of as I had all the right arguments. I was right in every meaningful sense of the word, and also it's true that I probably was rather careless with the feelings aspect of things, which to some people is more important. Now, I have a bit of an advantage in a school setting because ultimately the goal ought to be focused on student education. And on that domain, there's nothing anybody can say negative that's gonna win the point, So that shows you the utility of thinking. But what Abraham was talking about shows you also the utility of the feeling aspect. That managing emotions is at least as subtle and requiring of deftness and art as argumentation. It's just along different vectors, and it's less permanent. So the thing is, the skills you practice and interpret to get people to display or feel or provide for you, I guess, the emotions you want them to provide, those techniques are, what are they? They're behavioral things, whereas argumentation's not. It should exist independent of the behavior presentation entirely. So you're really talking about a criterion of consistency in debate, whereas you're talking about a criterion of emotive precision in speech. And these two different personality types, ENTP and ENFJ, they're damn near the best at each of their respective types. And Abraham is a gift from God. Nothing short of that. Together, we put together all the fucking high school stuff today. We got the membership paid up, sent off, everything like that. We are good to go. NSDA, Rebecca Academy, we are NSDA members. We are SCDL members, and we should be good to go for NAT quals. And I communicated with Derek, coach at Gabrielino. I'm like, not myself, but I communicated with him. I asked Abraham to email him for me, and I communicated that we want to have extempors at Nats Falls. We want to go in there. I want to shock the league. I want to go in there and knock out the front runners right away. There are smart enough kids at Rebay. I know that for a fact. I know them. I'm friends with them. So I want to make sure that we squeeze all the juice that's available in this particular fruit. If you are a high schooler at Rebay and you happen to be watching this video and you think you got any sort of talent acting or debating or whatever, I want to talk to you. I want Rebay to have people qualify for Nats this year if at all possible. I think it's going to be really hard, except for maybe an extent, which is why I want to focus there first. That's where it's going to be most feasible. If you are a really bright, debatey type person and you don't know anything about extent, you could still win this. Okay, so that's what's going on, and sort of segued from TI, FE division to debate stuff, but all ties in together. So thanks for watching Talking with Famous People. I will see you soon. Super excited about the developing squad at Rebay.